Five lifelong friends decide to have a weekend getaway at an old abandoned cabin that has been in Emma's family for years. Little do they know that inside the cabin's dusty walls is a terrifying secret that will ultimately cost them their lives. What could this secret be? Let's find out in this week's episode of Campfire Horror Stories. The five friends had decided to spend a weekend at the secluded cabin to catch up and enjoy some time away from the rest of the world. But upon arrival, they soon noticed how isolated it really was. Thick fog blanketed the forest around them, and the old rickety bridge nearby was their only way in and out. While settling into the cabin, the friends began to explore their surroundings. As the oldest of the bunch, Emma showed her friends the best places around the area, including her favorite spot as a child, which happened to be under the floorboards of the creaky old cabin. As the friends sat in the dim lantern light, sharing stories of their younger years, Noah noticed a small keyhole under the floorboards in the shape of a crescent moon. Intrigued, he looked around for a key and eventually found an old rusted key on a hook in the corner. So when he inserted the key and turned it, the floor creaked and slowly lifted up, revealing a dusty box underneath. They pried the box open and found a collection of worn, smooth wooden letter blocks. Each block was intricately carved with strange runes that glowed faintly in the darkness. At first, they assumed it was just a quirky relic from the cabin's past. However, little did they know, these blocks held a sinister secret that would soon turn their weekend getaway into a horrifying fight for survival. As the friends settled in for the night, the idea of playing a game with the letter blocks seemed like a fun way to pass the time. However, what started as an innocent game quickly took a sinister turn. One by one, the blocks rearranged themselves to spell out cryptic messages that seemed to target each person's deepest fears and darkest secrets. As the fog rolled in that night, the five friends huddled around the table in the lantern light, their faces illuminated by the dancing flames. In front of them lay the wooden letter blocks, each inscribed with eerie runes. The room was silent except for the crackling fire until suddenly, as if by an invisible force, the blocks began to move. They slid across the table, aligning themselves to form a chilling message. "Truth or die," it read, the words stark against the worn wood. A wave of uneasy laughter rippled through the group. Was it a sick joke? A twisted game left behind by whoever had lived in the cabin before, or something more sinister? Liam, always quick to dismiss anything supernatural, scoffed. "That's just a game," he said, reaching out to rearrange the blocks, only for his fingers to freeze midair. The blocks were stuck, their surfaces unnaturally smooth, almost slimy. The friends stared at the message, their laughter dying in their throats. Fear flickered in their eyes. None of them had brought any alcohol this trip, but all of them wished they had. That night, the cabin filled with unsettling sounds. Whispers seemed to dance on the edge of their hearing. Floorboards creaked ominously, and the wind outside howled like a wounded animal. Sleep evaded them as they sat in a circle of lantern light, too afraid to venture into the darkness. Just as dawn began to break, casting pale fingers of light through the gaps in the curtains, the blocks moved again. This time the message was clear. Secrets revealed at the stroke of noon. With that, the blocks fell silent, leaving the friends to their mounting fears. They tried to ignore the ominous warning, but as the clock on the old grandfather clock chimed noon, their worst fears were realized. One by one, the blocks spelled out each friend's darkest secret. Emma's turn came first. "Stolen Liam from Sophia," the blocks declared. Years ago, Emma had indeed sabotaged Sophia and Liam's relationship in college, jealous of their bond. Back then, she'd thought she was being clever, just a harmless prank. But now, The words hung between them, heavy with the weight of their shared history. Next, Liam's secret surfaced. Hurt someone bad. In a moment of drunken rage, Liam had nearly killed someone in a bar fight years ago. It was a part of him he'd buried deep, never wanting to speak of it again. Now the revelation hung in the air, a dark cloud of guilt. Sophia's secret emerged next. Let her drown. A boating accident years ago had taken the life of her best friend. Despite Sophia's desperate efforts, she couldn't save her. The memory, a gaping wound in her soul. Akuna's secret was equally painful. Hold your secrets. He'd betrayed his friend's confidences for personal gain. And finally, it was Ava's turn. The blocks arranged themselves to form the words, "Love hurts." She'd unknowingly caused pain to those closest to her, each of them trying to hide their reactions. But the facade crumbled. Words of love and support died on their lips. The harsh realities of their past collided with their present. Now, trapped in the confines of the old cabin with the menacing blocks as their accuser, betrayals, long buried, bubbled to the surface. Accusations flew, voices rose. The friends who once had shared secrets and dreams now hurled their darkest moments against each other. Their unity shattered, replaced by a chilling paranoia. In a desperate bid to escape the terror of the blocks, they tried to destroy them. But no matter how many times they broke, burned, or shattered them, the blocks reappeared whole, their runes glowing ominously. The cabin echoed with their turmoil as they grappled not only with their own demons, but with the malevolent force that seemed determined to tear them apart. Then it began. The blocks started spelling out death predictions. First, it was Noah's turn, burned by envy. Suddenly, the logs in the fireplace seemed to erupt in flames. Before anyone could react, Noah was trapped, engulfed by the flames. Screams echoed through the cabin as his friends watched in horror. Moments later, the blocks shifted again, this time to reveal Sophia's grim fate, drowned in guilt. She felt an icy grip around her ankles, pulling her toward the depths of the lake. The water closed over her head, stealing away her screams. As the full weight of their cursed situation crashed down on them, the remaining three friends panicked. The cabin's beams groaned ominously, and then it happened, broken by rage. The ceiling collapsed, pinning Liam beneath its weight. It trickled down his temple. With his last breath, he managed to utter a warning, a teen. Then the blocks turned to Emma, betrayed by love. Before Emma could comprehend the message, the blocks manipulated Liam's body, causing him to lunge at her. In a flash of movement, she stabbed him, ending his suffering. The blocks glowed, their message complete. But there was one more secret, one more truth that needed to be revealed. "Live with your choices," the blocks whispered. As the last one standing, Ava realized with a jolt that she was the puppet master of this horror show. She had planted the blocks, hoping to expose her friend's flaws, but their doom was sealed by her lie. The curse of the blocks spared her, but left her trapped with her friends' dead bodies. In the end, she was left with nothing but the haunting echo of their final message, forced to live with the horrifying consequences of her actions. And with that, our story comes to a chilling end. What do you think? Were you scared by this story? Do you believe in curses? If so, share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more scary tales, and check out more of our content. And thanks for watching.